Well, welcome back. In case you've just joined us, it's still Engendered, a program where we discuss everything pertaining the female gender. And before we went on that break, we told you that, well, the show is about to begin and you're right on time. Well, we've been joined by our guest. He's, a social justice and youth advocate. Well, he's no other person than Raymond Ofodu. I hope I get that name correctly. Ifeanyi. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Did
Thanks
I pronounce
for
it
having me.
correctly?
Yes. Ifeanyi Ofodu Raymond.
Oh, girl, a round of applause for me, please.
Thanks for
How do
joining
you do
us.
today?
Thank you so much. I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm well. Thank you. How
Hope you're
about you?
good.
Yes, I'm good.
All right. So
Thank you.
on 8th of March was
Yes.
International Women's Day.
Yes.
How did you celebrate it, and what were the celebrations or commemorations to that effect?
Yes. I think on 8th of March was a very remarkable day because I'm working very closely with the Ministry of Women Affairs,
Okay.
and the ministry started its International Women's Day earlier. They kicked off on the 1st of March,
Wow.
where they started having series of engagement with women, road walks, and the 8th was the final celebration where they gathered different women from different regions, to reimagine what it is to be a woman, to reimagine what it is to have a gender equal society, like, especially in Nigeria. So I must say, the Minister of Women Affairs, Barrister Uju, really took the International Women's Day serious,
Yeah.
and they did quite a lot and well.
Wonderful. Just before we go to our topic today, do you think it achieved the International Women's Day, because it's not something that's just celebrated in Nigeria, celebrated worldwide? Do you think it achieved a success, a remarkable success in terms of its theme, invest in the girl child, and in terms of inclusion too? Because I know you've been on those programs before. You know what we do here.
Yes.
You know the advocacy that keeps going on, not just here, but in other places. Do you think it has achieved its success, looking way back and looking now?
Yes, there's something that we must note. During these days of International Women's Day, it is a day the whole world stands still and pay attention to women. It is a day for women to voice out their concerns, reimagine themselves as women, show different spaces where women are excelling. Because I get to even learn from different social media handles globally where different women at work were displayed, and it was so marvelous. I saw like they were showing women in football, women in renewable energy.
Wow.
Then the most shocking one was when I saw that women actually invented some of the key things that we never thought about, like Wi-Fi, like paper bags. I was shopping bags, and I was like, oh my God, I never knew this. So this is the kind of opportunity and the driver International Women's Day bring to the table. It's a day for the whole world to pay attention to this particular gender, the women. So I think it achieved to an extent, because that was when policymakers came together again to discuss, and currently everybody's in New York for the CSW, where women are converging from different part of the country, from different part of the world, to reimagine what it is to be a woman and to invest in that girl child. So that is the major value of what these commemorations bring to the table. So I think to an extent, I must give it a thumbs up.
All right.
So, out of curiosity, what are the specific goals of International Women's Day? What are the specific
Yes, so that's a very good question. This International Women's Day, like I said and I mentioned, is aimed at making sure that the voice of the women, of girls, are heard. Now, the goal is to make sure that everything driving a successful, thriving society that is filled with women are brought to the picture. So we bring it to the picture, we dialogue, we debate, people make commitments, scholarships are given, people are encouraged. That is the goal, that is the aim, so that we don't forget this particular problem. We don't forget that there is a need to revisit that gender equality on the table. And International Women's Day is part of something that we must look at as the goal, the objective, the aim of having it. Because a lot of women were opportune to shine on this International Women's Day. Their businesses thrived. Their inventions were discovered. There were opportunities to giving scholarships. Even the Minister of Women Affairs used this opportunity to also launch her initiatives. So this is a time for you to say, okay, let us move on. Let us fight for the women for the rest of the year. And this is the first quarter, like you know.
Okay, so I want to also ask this question. Well, this is to let our viewers know that we've not started the topic of today, albeit since we just marked the International Women's Day, it's important we throw some light on it. Now, you said something about equality, and now there's this debate between whether the women are fighting for equity or equality. Is there a difference?
You know, that is a very critical question, because from my experience at the field, from my studies, we have discovered there is something that people need to understand when it comes to equality and equity. I am an advocate of women, like equal opportunity for women everywhere. You don't tell me that a woman doesn't have the right to be fully employed and fully paid. You don't tell me that the woman doesn't have right to land. You don't tell me that because she's a woman, she should be subjected to these harmful practices. So these are equal opportunities and equal right. As a gender, we should share together. So it depends, being, for example, people driving it down to their homes, you know, saying being loyal to your husband or being submissive to your husband drives away that equality from you. I don't see it that way. I see it as a way that marriage should be something of understanding. Two of you should have respect for each other. Two of you should know the roles you play as married couple. So you shouldn't say that, oh, because we are fighting for us to have equal opportunity at the table, for policymakers to have women in governance, to have women leaders, that drives that, oh, I am greater than this. Nobody is really greater than anybody. Because when you look at it in the world of sports, women are thriving. So did they say because women have legs and men have this different type of legs, they should not run in the same track? No. But they are thriving. So it means that the two different genders can excel no matter where you are or who you are. So being equal, or in the equity sense, shows that both economically, financially, you know, mentally, you know, physically, environmentally, both people have access to the same opportunity. No one should be discriminated at. So that is my own belief and understanding.
You're in consensus with gender equality and gender equity.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right then, viewers, having established that, it's safe to say that gender advocacy for equality and equity should continue to gain momentum. All right, moving on. Let's bring you our topic for today. Now, I'll begin with a background of what we'll be looking at. It says that in Nigeria, many young people have unfortunately fallen victims to societal neglect. They face numerous challenges such as limited access to quality education, unemployment, poverty, and lack of opportunities. The neglect of youth issues has resulted in a disconnection between young people and the resources they need to thrive. Factors such as inadequate infrastructure, corruption, and insufficient support systems contribute to the neglect. For women, they often experience discrimination, violence, and lack of representation in decision-making process. These issues highlight the urgent need for empowerment, advocacy, and policy changes to address the systemic neglect faced by women in Nigeria. Now, I'll be breaking down some statistics for you. It says, according to a study by Big Brothers Big Sisters, youth with mentors are 55% more likely to enroll in college compared to those without mentors. And the National Monitoring Partnership reports that young people who have mentors are 130% more likely to hold leadership positions. A study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescents found that youth who have mentors are 46% less likely to use drugs and 27% less likely to engage in risky behaviors. The National Mentoring Partnership states that youth with mentors have higher self-esteem and are more likely to have positive relationships with peers and adults. Well, lastly, the Center for Promise found that mentored youth have a 55% greater likelihood of being enrolled in college compared to their non-mentored peers. Now, these statistics demonstrate the positive impact of mentorship on youth development, including improved educational outcomes, increased leadership skills, reduced risky behaviors, and enhanced well-being. Mentorship provides guidance, support, and positive role models, helping young people navigating challenges and reach their full potential. Well, today we'll be looking at mentorship for young women in achieving inclusion amidst the International Women's Day that was celebrated recently. And already you've met our guest. He's no other person than Ifeanyi Ofodu Raymond. He's a social justice and youth advocate. So you heard what I read to you.
Yes.
You know, recently I was interviewing an exclusive interview, and I was asking the person, my interviewee, because he has gone ahead to sponsor some youth in terms of sports. And I asked him why. He said, it is one way to help reduce idleness in the minds of youth, to bring them, to make them have something to do. Okay. That way they don't get to perpetrate crimes or abuse the drugs or substances. Help us understand what mentorship is.
Yes, I must first begin with every single person that is successful had a mentor or still has a mentor. Some people might put it in the political world as godfatherism, but to me it is simple mentorship. When you talk about mentorship, it is someone that has been there before you, that has the experience, that has the advice, that has the guidance to give you, to enable you thrive in that field, or to enable you thrive in the general life that we are living in. So I will put it this way. You know, usually we just have our fathers and mothers, elder sisters, uncles to learn from when we are growing up as a child. Then when you finally grow up, you enter into the field of medicine, lawyers, diplomats, or any journalism, any field you enter, you will face difficulties, you face challenges, you see things your way that you wonder, is this normal? Should this be happening to me? That is when somebody that has been there, that is successful in that field, that you feel that you are inspired by what they do. You move up to them, you move to them to be your mentor, to teach you, to enable you learn how they were able to navigate through these obstacles. So when you talk about mentor, you talk about guidance, you talk about somebody giving you hope, somebody telling you that it's well, you can do it. And there's something that we need to also understand. In the society we live in, young people are already swayed away. They are confused. A lot of young people, I'm also a young person, and I've realized that we are living in a dilemma of confusion, in a dilemma of, am I going to do it? Can I make it? How will I be able to make it? That is when we need hope. And that hope can only come through humans. And that human can deliver that hope as services of being a mentor. And that is why, like the person you interviewed, he's so correct, because an idle man is a devil's workshop. And if you feel that you can be able to help young people enter this field that you feel that they can thrive from, why not? Why not be a mentor to young people? I know a lot of people that I'm already mentoring without even knowing that I'm mentoring them. Because sometimes people can be mentors to you directly. People can be mentors to you from the things they post, from the things they say on social media. So what do? You go read it, watch it, you become inspired, you learn how to navigate through this problem. And it has really helped a lot of young people. Like me especially, it had helped me a lot. I know I had a lot of beautiful mentors, amazing mentors. I still have them that are thriving in this field, in this development world, when it comes to the UN, to the African Union. So when I was in school, I was like, I want to be like this person. I want to be like you. And fortunately for me, I was able to get the courage to reach out to them, as they simply told me what to do. Stay focused. Know what you want. So I think it's a very important topic.
Let's bring it down to the young women now.
Okay.
So how can mentors, mentor these young women in order to achieve inclusion? What roles does this mentor play in order for women to achieve inclusion, probably in the affairs of the country or in their society, wherever they find themselves? How can they be mentored?
Yes. That's a very interesting question, because this brings me back to where we are currently in. Young women need mentors to tell them that you are enough. You can do this. You can be a president. You can be senator. You can be governor. That is what a mentor can do for you. Young people, young women most especially, shouldn't grow up to know that they are looking for a husband. You hear them in secondary schools. All they'll be discussing is how they will get married, settle down with children, without having any future to aspire to. So that is what a mentor comes in for. A mentor tells you that you can be a great actress. You can actually make a name for yourself. Because they say that an educated woman is an educated nation. So when you make a name for yourself, your generations are gonna be born for greatness. For example, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, if she's your mentor, if she's someone that says, oh, little girl, I'm gonna train you, I'm gonna teach you how to navigate through this business world of women, that is when you know that she will teach you that there are obstacles, there are problems that women face. But as a young lady, this is how you overcome them. That maybe the other men or people in your society, even your fellow women, might try to undermine you in this workspace or in this environment, but this is how to navigate through it. And women need to learn that, because with mentorship, you can know that you can go beyond the skies. You can do a lot of things. You can even be someone that might find interest in engineering and be the one to discover the problem that this country has been facing in one way or the other. And you don't even want to aspire to do that, because you probably don't have anybody to guide you, anybody to tell you the truth, because it's actually the truth. Sometimes when you look at a lot of families that are broken, it's because, okay, maybe the man is the only one providing for the family, and at a point he cannot do that anymore. At a point things are difficult for him because he's also a human being. And now you, the woman, because you have no skill, because you have nothing, you feel that, oh, I am just there to give birth. That is what lack of mentorship will tell you, that you are lacking in your family. There's a woman that I love so much. She's a preacher. Whenever she preaches, I listen to her. The way she talks to women, she mentors women to be great women. She mentors women to tell them that you are enough. You can do this. You can grow beyond your imagination. You can be the one to even help your husband excel. And I know a lot of women in high places, a lot of women that are powerful, that their family is flourishing. Because why? They didn't choose to lay back. Their mentors guided them to where they are, and they're excelling today. So I think the role of a mentorship in the life of every woman is critical, and it's something that the nation and even the government should take seriously. Have programs to enroll young girls to become, even if it's monthly, quarterly, let them learn. Let somebody come to them. Let them learn. Let them inspire. Let them aspire to be that person. A lot of little girls have role models. Encourage them. If you want to be an actress, practice. Go to this field. You might be successful. This is what mentorship can do for you. And when you build that girl, you have built the nation.
Okay, you made mention of two things, and I would like to ask the question simultaneously. You made mention of the fact that in terms of, you had the boldness to approach a mentor.
Yes.
Well, there are so many people who have no boldness as such to approach a mentor. And most times these mentors do not come easy. Perhaps, maybe if you approach them, you find out that it's easy, but the boldness is not there at first. So what can one do in terms of that? And secondly, I've often heard people said women cannot be successful both in marriage and outside in terms of career, and you have to choose. And when choosing, you have two options: to either marry a supportive man or quit marriage, or do not even marry at all. Now, many people would have had mentors, like, for instance, you mentioned Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and someone like Alakija or something, whose home now just recently got broken, right? So how possible is it for one to be in a marriage which is successful and outside also be successful there?
Yes, I think, let me start with the first question. To get that courage, or to be inspired, or to be motivated to reach out to somebody you believe that this person can be your mentor, is very easy. Sometimes people are afraid of rejection. Maybe when I reach out to you, do you say, what are you doing in my DMs, or what are you talking to me about? Move away. try. The darkest problem we have is not trying. We believe that we are not going to be accepted or we're not going to be getting feedback, but we have not even tried. Try, swallow that fear. Just say, hi, please. I would like you to be my mentor. How do I go about this? And if you think that social media is not enough, try and be in events that will have these powerful people, these people that you feel that inspire you will be in. When after the event, walk up to them. Hey, I like you. I like the way you operate. Can you be my mentor? Can you teach me how to do this or that? I am having problem this. I can't get this done. What do I do? People are happy to talk to you. Sometimes some mentors don't have to give you time all the time, but one or few words that they will relay for you, they will drop for you, is enough for you to pick up as a wise person and work on that. That is for the first question. And the second question, the same way a man will be successful in being married and working is the same way a woman has the same opportunity to be married and working. Now, I know there's a different aspect to women, which comes with childbearing, where you have to take care of your children, and when you also have to juggle with work, and where you also have to pay attention to your partner. But that doesn't stop you from excelling. Why I mentioned Okonjo Wale is because she's a mother. She has children. She's excelling. She has a husband that is still alive, and they are happily married. I will also mention the Minister of Women Affairs, Barrister Uju. She has children. She has husband, and she's excelling. She's a minister. We also have different ministers. We have the Minister of Trade. She's also married. She's also with children. So it doesn't matter if you have given birth, even if it's 10, 7 children, if you know that you have a husband, that you shouldn't pursue your career. You shouldn't be who you want to be. The choice is yours. And I feel that before you get married or before you marry someone, both of you need to understand each other. You need to learn. Does this person want me to excel? Does this person really want me to be that career person that wants to go ahead and thrive? And naturally, I know there are some women that don't want to work. They just want to get laid back. And you understand, housewife, and they're pumping money for them. That is your choice. But those ones that have that choice of being the best journalist there ever is in Nigeria, those ones that want to be the best athlete, look at Serena Williams. Look at these women thriving. Look at Beyonce. Look at all these people, Matala, Genevieve, all these people that are thriving. You have a chance. You have an opportunity. It's just you to step in. Step into that opportunity, and the way life will work in your favor, you'll be shocked. And before you know it, you have gone so far in your career, and your children are grown, and everything is beautiful. There is, of course, there's challenges. There are obstacles. But we humans will keep on being humans. And all you have to do is go over these obstacles, find solutions, and move ahead. So I think if a man can do it, a woman can always do it.
Okay. Still talking about mentorship. There are people that, when you walk up to them to be your mentor, they charge you an exorbitant price just to be your mentor. While there are some people that also render these services for free. I don't know, what's your opinion on this?
So like I mentioned, now this leads us to different type of mentorship. So there are people that, okay, let's say this is their career. Their job is to be mentors to people. And how do you really be mentor to someone that pays you? That means you must have a deliverable. You must say, okay, I'm going to deliver this and this for you. When you pay me, I'm going to teach you this, this, and that. But I don't think that is the core ideal of mentorship. The core ideal of mentorship is someone that willingly win their heart. Even if they don't, like I said before, they don't give you the attention. Every day they are talking to you. Every day they are speaking with you. It is just someone that drops you words of wisdom, words of advice. Mentorship is all about you learning. Mentorship is about you learning from someone that has experienced it, someone that has passed through that phase, so that you understand that you are not alone. So when you are approaching someone and the person says pay, you ask yourself, what am I really paying for? Am I paying to learn how to do this, or will the person now, after I pay, the person will carry me and put in that field that they are in, and I will start earning money? That is the things you need to consider. But if it's somebody that you need advice from, you can always find mentors on social media without even knowing them directly. All you have to do is follow their page, know who they are, follow them back to back, what they are doing, learn how they are navigating through this, and it will enable you build. Sometimes some of the people that I value as mentor don't even know me. But I when you ask me who is your mentor, I'll say this person. And when I call the person, you go and check. I'm following the person. I'm monitoring what they are doing. I am in the places and the spaces of where they are. And when I have opportunities, I will approach them and say, hey, see, sir, hey, see, ma, please, I'm having difficulties in solving this global, this, that. How do I go about it? I'm having difficulties at workplace. How do I handle the situation? You have been there before. They will give you that matured advice that you need, and that is all you need from a mentor.
Okay, help us differentiate the difference between, because you said something now, and I feel like it's a pointer. Help us differentiate the difference between a role model and a model, and a mentor. Yeah.
Okay, so a role model is someone that you look up to. Is your role model. You want to be like the person. You want to aspire to be the person. So the person's wrongs or rights are your concern. You value that person as a role model. But also, a mentor can be your role model. But this time around, it is more critical. It is more inside. It is deeper than a role model. Meaning that you seek consent and advice from this person in some particular issues. So your role model turns to your mentor. So that your role model now, when you are now opportune to have access to that person, the person now becomes your mentor. So the person now teaches you, guides you, makes you understand the difficulties and how to navigate through these things of life. So I think, both of them work in line. Yes.
All right, before we continue, let's quickly go on just short break, and when we return, Engender continues. Stay with us.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the Engendered show, where we discuss and analyze various relevant topics pertaining to the female gender. Before the break, we are discussing the very important topic that has to do with International Women's Day, mentorship for young women in achieving inclusion, with our amiable guest in the studio with us. Are there particular areas or sectors young women should be mentored on, or should they just be mentored in all walks of life?
Yes, I think they should be mentored generally at every aspect of life, but there is also some special areas that people feel that women should not be into. So they need mentorship in that area.
Like what areas?
STEAM. So when we talk about STEAM, we're talking about women in renewable energies, engineering, AI, tech. These are areas that women need to pick up. These are areas that they need to thrive in, because there are demanding workforce on these areas, demanding knowledge gain on these areas, and we need people to know that we're transitioning to the green jobs. So women should be mentored around these areas. Women should be encouraged to come into this field, thrive in this field. We all know that doctors, lawyers, yes, everybody knows this. There are new areas that need more women, more men to start delving into. So these areas are some aspects, I think.
Okay, so what sort of mentorship programs do you think could be effective in mentoring young ladies in STEM programs?
Okay, so I think there are people already thriving in STEM, also women. So there are different courses and programs and leadership programs in STEM that women can be open to. The opportunities can be open to them. So there's also areas of, if you are lucky to find a good mentor, you can also access funding opportunities to study these STEAM programs and have access to the workforce. And also, generally the most important is just somebody telling you and and letting you know that you should be in this field. Somebody encouraging you, driving you into that field, making things easy for you. And remember, the role of a mentor is also to drive access to opportunities for you. So the person just be like the open door and opens door for you to courses, to funding opportunities, to schools that can accept you, to learn STEAM, and to also workplaces that you can apply and enter into. So
Okay, talking about access to places for you as a
Yeah.
mentor, does it also require the mentor giving the mentee money, like money?
no, it doesn't necessarily require that, unless your mentor is extremely wealthy. But the most important thing is someone that just says, this is where the funding is. This is the place the opportunity is. Apply, sends you the link. That is the most important thing you need as an access. So sometimes you may not know where they are sitting. You may not know where those opportunities are deposited in. So you need someone to pick you up, drop you to where these opportunities are, then you take it from there. Because when you take any horse to the river, you cannot force the horse to drink. The horse has to be the one to drink. So what the mentor has to do for you is to take you to the river. So you tell yourself, it is time to drink. And you drink.
There are numerous
Yeah.
barriers that these mentors encounter
Yeah.
in terms of mentorship. So what are these barriers or challenges, and how can they be surmounted?
Yeah. As being a mentor, right? As being a mentor, yes, you are going to face normal human being challenges. Sometimes you might not even have the fundings, the opportunities to even direct these young people to. And sometimes you'll be overwhelmed by the things of life, by the things you are facing, by the challenges you are into. So you don't even know how to advise that young person that is coming with this problem one way or the other. And sometimes you being as a mentor, you might actually not even believe in your trade, believe in what you are doing. So how do we encourage another person to be in this? How do you even bring out the time to do it? Some might be so busy, they really want to be a mentor, but they don't have the time to do this. So to overcome all these challenges, I think number one, for you to be a mentor, know that you should bring out your whole heart, what you have to be a mentor. Don't be forced into being someone's mentor. Agree to it. Bring yourself into it. And when you bring yourself into it, things become easier for you. You get to communicate with these young ones easier. You get to source out these opportunities for them happily. Because when you're a mentor and you are not being paid, you are doing it like a voluntary thing. You are doing it out of your love, out of your self-service. So when you are doing it and you are not feeling any, like, I'm tired of this, that is when you have no problems. That is when you excel in that field.
Okay,
Yes.
so since you're a social justice advocate, so in supporting women to achieve social justice and inclusion in the society, what sort of prerequisite or skills should such a mentor have in perhaps supporting the girl child or women?
Yes. So first of all, you must understand the field. You must understand the environment of what you are into, what social justice entails. Then now you understand the law, understand your human rights, understand what should be mine and what shouldn't be mine. When you understand all these things, these are important skills. Then you understand communication. You understand how communication should work, how to relay messages to people, and this is how you'll be able to tell people these are the things you should endeavor into. And also understand how the development world works. Understand how international relation works. Understand what is happening in country A and country B, and understand how it should be different in your own country. What are the things lacking? Most importantly, you must have the tips of human right in your hands, so that when you say you have the right to speak, you are standing on that. You are encouraging young girls that you have the right to be in any field you want. It is nobody's business that you excel in being a doctor or you excel in being a lawyer. It is your business. So when you understand these core values and skills, I think you, as a mentor, you can be able to thrive in social justice or any other related field.
Okay, take us through social justice in terms of what Nigeria lacks in terms of social justice for women in Nigeria.
Okay. So when it comes to social justice for women in Nigeria, it's starting from education, access to education for young girls, health and well-being for young girls, that's reproductive health, access to, you know, menstrual hygiene, access to reproductive educations. Then also when it comes to also, when you talk about social justice, climate change is also included in the case of Nigeria, where you should have access to lose and damage funds from your government. When disaster struck, somebody should be able to help you as a government entity. So also when it comes to social justice, you should be looking at, okay, access to land, affordable housing, access to, you know, medical equipment and health systems, insurance. So these are the core things that women should be able to access. Even access to job opportunities is also included in social justice. And the most important thing, access to justice itself. So you should be able to access justice when the time comes. When you are abused, when you are harassed, you should be able to go to the police, have justice delivered on whoever that is the perpetrator. So these are the things that when it comes to social justice that women should be able to access, and it should be so easy for women as it is easy for men. But you know, in some cases it is not easy for neither both men and women. So it's something that that is a societal problem. So I think when it comes to the cases of women, all these things are important when you talk about access to social justice. Yeah.
Okay, so amidst gender inequality, how can opportunities be created for women to achieve their full potential?
Yes, I mean gender equality.
Yes.
So opportunities should be in all round.
Okay.
Opportunities should be in the workplace, in the justice system, in the educational system. Don't come to schools and say that only 40% of girls are in the school, the 60% are boys. They should have equal opportunity. That is when gender equality is achieved. When it comes to justice, don't take priority to men's cases more than women's cases. It should be something of equal opportunity. It should be both for men and for women. When it comes to rights to food, to shelter, to land, you know, these are the things that women should be able to access. These are the things that that makes gender equality equal. And most importantly, when it comes to financial independence, that is the most important thing when it comes to gender equality, because women shouldn't be, you know, taken as lower, weaker race, so that they are meant to be poor. They don't have access to any working equipment, any farming equipment. They are left abandoned. Only the men should thrive in this. No, it should be both sides. So that is when gender equality can fully be achieved, when we can say that both gender can access this equally.
Okay, so I'd like to ask, how
Yes.
can one, maybe a young girl out there, spot a true mentor, someone who is authentic in terms of mentorship now? Because we've often heard of cases where these mentors come in form of these people or young persons, maybe the opposite sex, or yes, for a female, the male, for the male, the female, come to in disguise of mentorship, and then they abuse these young ones. Now, most of the cases, based on the research I make, that you find abuse, you get them through like things like, oh, I want to mentor you, and at the long run, it's not just mentorship. You're interested in something at the end of it. So, how can one identify a mentor who is really a mentor?
So I think you can smell through a rotten egg, and you can see somebody that has good intentions for you. People can be very manipulative, and they can hide it till they get what they want from you. But in these cases, first of all, when you want someone to be your mentor, there's one key question you should ask yourself as a young girl, as a young boy. What line of mentorship am I getting from this person? Is this person a footballer that I say I want to learn how to play ball, I want to watch you and know how to navigate through it? Or is this person a journalist? So you must narrow your expectations. You must know what you really want. what you desire for. So when you narrow those expectations, it will enable you as a young person not to be deceived easily. Because when the person is deviating from that path of which you have come and which you need the help from, you will be able to sense it immediately. But when you are all over the place, when you are vague, when you don't even know where you are narrowing to, that person can be chicken hands in different things and you'll be confused, and at the end of the day you go home with nothing. So everything, every action you take should have a purpose, should have a direction. Then watch attentively. Be very smart. In this young generations we have young smart people. So really be smart and know how you follow people that you believe are elders. No matter the superiority that person has over you, remember one thing: your right is yours. And when you know your right is yours, nobody can manipulate you or deviate you from your path. Once you notice it, you should report to the appropriate authority.
Okay, as a social justice advocate, there are a lot of tasky things to do in terms of changing maybe narratives or trying to persuade or persevere one in terms of culture and the likes. Are there any complex issues you've had to experience in this line of duty of yours?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, take us through it.
Yes, the first is, will people really believe you? Do people want to even listen to what you have to say? Because remember, being a social justice, I am also a very strong advocate for poverty alleviation, because that is what is the driver of most 80 or 70% of the societal problems. So first of all, when you are preaching of poverty alleviation, what resources do you have to actually give those people? You might not have those physical resources, but you are trying to tell them what to do to get those resources. So it becomes like they'll be like, what is this one saying? So sometimes it's difficult to navigate through this, and sometimes it's difficult to make human beings understand the right things to do. So I think there are numerous challenges, and it's endless, because every day we're living. So as we wake up, we're living, and you can face new things today. But the most important thing is resilience, consistency, and passion. So with these three, I'm able to navigate these challenges, societal belief, all those things, even the way you communicate with the community, all those things are still there. But when you have the passion, when you have the commitment, you'll be able to understand the problem and find a way around it in the future.
Are there mentoring programs in Nigeria? And if there are, list this program so that our viewers can take cognizance.
Yes, I can't say that there are many, or there are some that I don't know about, but there is one that I think the current chief of staff started. I don't really know the name, but people should research around it. When he was a speaker, he started a mentorship program for young people in the House of Assembly, for this House of Reps. So I think that is one that I know. There are not much mentorship programs, but there are kind of courses, or maybe people that are into this mentorship things that you can learn through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is an opportunity for you to just go in, type mentorship programs. You'll be able to find out more. And also the UN also have some that they might be offering.
Okay, so what advice, before we go, because we're out of time, what advice would you have for young ones who are perhaps aspiring to be social advocates themselves, to perhaps tame the menace or the issues, let me say issues now, of societal injustice?
Yes. So my advice is identify the problem, fight and find ways to solve the problem. So as a social justice, you must identify the problem you want to address, fight it, keep moving, keep pushing, no matter what. You actually get that place you're looking for. And never you listen to what people have to say, because sometimes people's opinion can be the detriment of your making. So just believe in yourself. Know what you want. It is very important to know what you want, know where you are heading to, and the sky will be your limit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond Ifeanyi Ofodu.
Thank you so much. You pronounced it well.
Well, he
Thank
is.
you for joining us
Thank you
today.
so much for having me.
It's been a wonderful time with you, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a thing or two for our discussion today. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, viewers, you've heard our mentor, our guest today. I'm already calling him a mentor. Seriously, I already see him as one. All right, you know, for you to fight and the issues we are going through in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, because these things are not just prevalent in Nigeria. They are as everywhere as you can find yourself in terms of gender inequality, the poverty in which he spoke about that we are trying to alleviate out there. So it's important that you get yourself the right mentor to perhaps teach you, nurture you on the right things to do, because you wouldn't want to go and upset anyone because you want to change a narrative or a perspective, how to do it, when to do it, why you should do it. It's very important. Get a mentor today and save yourself. I am Victoria Agbi.
Mentorship is very vital when it comes to achieving women's inclusion, and the women shouldn't be limited or sidelined to a particular area when it comes to mentorship. They should be mentored in all walks of life. Trust me, when this is done, progress will be accelerated, especially in the nation's economy. Till we come your way again, I am Confidence Reuben.
Bye.
Bye for now.